In New Jersey, you do not have to prove fault in order to be granted a divorce. Common grounds are irreconcilable differences. So you don't necessarily need to prove that your partner cheated on you to be granted a divorce. While morally it's a reprehensible act and it really does take a psychological toll, being cheated on is not necessarily something that will entitle you to more alimony or to a bigger division of the assets. However, courts can factor in to, for example, you have evidence to prove that your former spouse has been in an extramarital relationship where he's been spending a lot of money, perhaps on lavish trips, on lavish gifts. If he's trying to underreport his assets to try to pay less alimony, you can definitely use those to your advantage. At Next Chapter Family Law, we'll use any and all receipts to make sure that you get the most fair, equitable division of the assets as well as the highest alimony payment possible. Again, cheating is certainly a morally reprehensible act that can have devastating consequences on family unity. However, infidelity alone is not enough of a factor to really make a substantial difference in a child custody or child support situation. Again, if one of the spouses is saying that they can't pay a certain amount of child support because they just simply can't afford it, but the other party has evidence that the party is spending lavishly on a girlfriend or boyfriend, the judge will definitely use that lack of credibility in evaluating certain representations made about income, etc., and will definitely look to make sure that all income is being accurately documented and consider that when awarding alimony or child support. While a cheating partner definitely is difficult to deal with, judges really do look at the best interest of the child when awarding or establishing custody. So, unfortunately, just because your spouse cheated on you, that does not necessarily mean that that makes them a bad parent. So, courts really keep a child-centered approach, and despite any bad conduct in terms of infidelity, that will for the most part, be viewed as not relevant to child custody analysis. However, where it can come into play, for example, is if your the former partner or your child's other parent is having, wide amount of different people and bringing them around your child. That's something that can be raised in court, especially if it presents a safety concern or can negatively affect your child's development. If you have questions regarding the myths of infidelity and how that can affect divorce settlements, child support, or alimony, please do contact us at Next Chapter Family Law. We're here to answer your questions and help you in the best way that we can.